like, I thought we were making progress. We're going out, right? We're going out. We're going to do the thing. From the title, you can see we're discussing a Nigerian movie today. And the name of this movie is For Maria Ebun Pataki. Pataki means an important gift. Now, this movie is not new, but it just recently released on Netflix. It was actually produced in 2020, released in 2020. I recently was scrolling through Twitter and I saw a post from the lead actress Imego Tangwa talking of how she gained weight to reflect a real postpartum body. And I really like things like that because I like when actors are dedicated to their craft and they really put effort into doing what the role requires them to do. Like, for example, Tony Tones put in so much effort into King of Boys. She gained weight, cracked her voice so she can sound a lot like Shola Shobawale. Ebun Pataki is about postpartum depression, and the movie starts in the hospital where delivery was taking place, and we see that there's something wrong, obviously. But at the end, we can't find out that it's not the child, it's the mother. The mother bled a lot during delivery, and obviously there's a problem, but we don't know exactly what that problem is. Next scene shows the mother. Her name is Derin. She was crying quietly in the hospital, but we don't know why she was crying. Then we go to the house, and at the house, first thing you hear is the grandmother, that's the mother-in-law, and this is the husband's mother. She was reciting, I think it's a psalm. I don't really know. Lift up your head, O ye gates, and lift every everlasting doors. It's a psalm now. And for those people that are Christians and read their Bible, that's a psalm. So she was reciting it and we were going up the stairs. And what really surprised me was that this house was not flashy. It looked like a regular Nigerian house with the noise, the sound of cars. In fact, when she was even praying, NEPA even took lights. It was so interesting for me to see because all the Nigerian movies they are producing now, everybody is bloody rich. I'm like, who are these people representing? But anyway, I was really happy to see that. One thing I really liked throughout this movie was how the couple were portrayed, very average Nigerians. The guy had an office job, the car, very small car, and the woman was a fashion designer, a tailor. She sells in the house. Next thing in the house, we see Derin searching for something. Derin is the name of the woman, the mother. She's searching for something, and we found out that she's looking for a nylon to cover her surgery site. Then she enters into the bathroom and she turns on the shower and enters in full clothes. Now this is something she does a lot throughout the movie. I think it's meant to reflect something, but I was not really getting it. There's obviously something wrong with them because she hasn't cracked a smile, she hasn't said a word. Then we go on to the naming ceremony. Derin does not even seem interested at all. She's absent-minded. And we find out that the name of the child is Maria. We're supposed to name her Salome, but Derin insisted that they should go with Maria. And what kind of asked, do you know what Maria means? And I think that was meant to reflect something, but I think the meaning of Maria means bitterness. So throughout the ceremony, she gets unwanted advice from everybody, like normal Nigerians do, give you unwanted advice for things you didn't ask them for. She's withdrawn, she's not interested, and this is meant to reflect symptoms of postpartum depression, I guess. And the following scenes further illustrates Derin's disinterest in nurturing her child. She doesn't breastfeed, she can't bond with her child, and she has no appetite, so she can't breastfeed her child. Anytime she hears her crying, she flinches. There was a scene at the dining table where she came out to eat. The mother-in-law was really being very nice. Like, she was being very nice to her. She came out to eat and even brought the food out for her. But as soon as she hears her child cry, she flinches. The mother-in-law is waiting. Maybe Derin will carry her child, but Derin does not move and eat, and the mother-in-law loses it, shouting at her. Which kind of mother is she? She does not breastfeed her child. She doesn't take care of her child. Doesn't understand what is going on, but the husband seems to understand there's something wrong with his wife, but he's trying to explain to his mom there's something wrong with this girl. She just went through a traumatic event. That's what's wrong with her. And I like that the husband stands up for her. That's the difficult situation a little bit. I think the next thing we see is a very funny scene where the mother-in-law is spraying holy water and singing, and sprays the water into the place where Derin is, using the water to wipe her face. She actually hugs her. The mother-in-law is quite nice. She's a very nice woman. I feel like that's how all mother-in-laws are, except you can miss the wicked ones. They have their flaws, but most of them are actually nice. So I never knew the name of her husband. Like, I never got to actually know the name of her husband throughout this movie. So I'm going to call her husband throughout this video. Her husband. So her husband, after a few more clashes, tells her husband that her mother-in-law has to go, that she will take care of her child herself. Meanwhile, the husband is very sure that this lady can't do anything, but he respects her wishes and lets the mother go. And the cycle continues. Derin is unable to bond with her child, but there's a shift. She goes from disinterest to being hypersensitive. So she also has other symptoms. Her gums are bleeding, her hair is falling out, and all that. And then we get to a very emotional scene where Derin bears her mind out to her husband, and we find out that what happened at the hospital was that she bled a lot and she lost her uterus. And the problem was not that, according to her, that she lost her uterus. The problem is that she's happy, she's relieved that she lost her uterus, so she can't have any more children, and that's a relief. She expressed her remorse that she ever had this child. That can she have a child she's unable to bond with? A child that cries anytime she picks her up. That she didn't have anything to do. Like, she's really sad, she's crying. And this scene was so emotional for me. She was just breaking her heart out, but she was deeply relieved that she couldn't have any more children. And suddenly Maria starts crying again, and Derin bursts into the room and starts shouting at her, stop crying, and the husband is like, give me the child. It was very emotional, very emotional. Like, I think throughout the movie was very slow paced. Like, there was not much character development or just one thing we were seeing, but this scene was really like bam, smack in the middle of it, just give you dish, take all the emotions. So her husband clearly knows there's a problem. So one day she hears ringing in her ears. They go to the hospital, the same hospital where she gave birth, and met the same doctor that took her delivery. So the doctor says she has titanius. I don't know how to pronounce things. So it's a loud ringing in her ear, and that's a symptom of postpartum depression anxiety. So that's why she's diagnosed with postpartum depression anxiety. And this symptom might last forever, might be temporary, no one knows. So anyway, it's official that she has postpartum depression anxiety, and she even refers her to a therapist, someone she can see for her problems. So when she referred her to a therapist, I expected that maybe she'll get better a little bit, because this is not the first time I've seen postpartum depression. In Blackish, they kind of did an episode on postpartum depression with Bo, and yeah, she got better at the end. But in this one, never see her go to therapist. Like, there was a therapist mentioned, but I never even see her go to a therapist for a section. That she continues the cycle again. And Maria's cries just gets more haunting. Because the husband has to work, so he's not always around. So she's always the one with the child. She won't calm the child down. Maria will just keep on crying, and Derin will just be doing her thing, uninterested in whatever is going on. So at the end of the day, one day she packs up, she takes Maria to the doctor to find out why Maria is crying. She's always crying. Like, what's the problem? There's a problem. I said, there's no problem. She's a child, children cry, and she just has to try and bond. Everybody just trying to tell them try and bond, but she can't bond. Like, that's the problem. She can't bond. Try and bond with this child. Anyway, she leaves the hospital. She goes shopping, buy some things. Maria is crying. When Nigeria is leaving now, so let's advise one woman. They want to tell her, mind your damn business. It was so funny. They say, is it your child? Mind your damn business. Tell your child knows what's wrong with that child. That one busy saying, carry this pikin, now see me. Carry the change her pampers. Can you come? Doesn't even answer anybody, does her thing. From there, goes to restaurant, eating alone. Maria is screaming her head off during scenes from for that. Meanwhile, at home, her husband is losing it, looking for Maria, calling everybody. Maria does not have a friend. This, that. And prior to this, just don't really try to cheer up, invited friends over. But nothing is working because he can't do anything. She has postpartum depression. She needs to see a doctor who can give her meds, who can, she needs to see a therapist. But I don't know why she never went to the therapist. In the ending scenes, her husband becomes very fed. Obviously, he becomes very fed up. Doesn't know what's going on. It's like, guys, he went to meet his friend that he's tired. His friend gives him advice that he should take it for a vacation. Maybe a holiday will solve things. I mean, what can a holiday not solve? So he goes back to the house. Tim goes back to the house, and the house is dark. There's one thing about Musha. There's not much light in this movie, and it's constant darkness. It's like a little bit of darkness, and there's not much pop of. There's no colors. Everything's just dreary. I think it's meant to reflect the movie that this is not a happy circumstance. A very, very bitter, very, very uncomfortable scenario. So back in the house, you see Derin wearing a wig, doing makeup, dressed as if she's going somewhere. Maria is still crying. So we're like, oh, she's finally getting better. She's going to go out. I was very excited for her. I'm like, finally. Because another thing, Derin never actually makes her hair, and she has natural hair. So I was very confused. Don't really like how they do that in movies. They try, and when the actors go through, their hair is always all over the place, and it's always natural hair. You guys, story from that day. So she's wearing a wig. She's dressed up with makeup, wearing a dress. She goes to Maria. Maria is crying. Derin does not even care. She looks at Maria, leaves back, goes outside, turns on music. I'm like, Derin is about to have a good alone time. All of a sudden, Derin entered the room, pulls her dress. I thought we were making progress. We're going out, right? We're going out. We're going to do the thing. No, Derin pulls her clothes, closes the door, enters the bathroom. That was it. The husband comes back home, sees the music on. Okay, obviously Derin is in the house, so they don't need to panic. Maria is also there. No need to panic. He turns off the song. So he goes into the room, and I think he can hear the sound of water running. So I think he has I didn't hear the sound of water running actually. I was not sure that that's what was happening. So he wasn't really even bothered. Sometimes she was just using the bathroom. So he was talking about Derin. I think we should go for a vacation, to get things of our minds, sort out any problems we have. So a good opportunity for us to relax, to enjoy ourselves. While he's doing all these things, Derin is not responding to him. And then we just suddenly cut to Derin in the bathroom, sitting in a pool of water and blood. That was it, guys. That was the end of the movie. I was so shocked. I was like, what? Seriously? For one, that's the darkest Nigerian movie I've ever seen. Is that the end? I mean, is that it? I was so shocked, guys. You can't even understand. Anyway, I like this movie because it was something different. The storyline, it's not something you see a typical Nigerian movie do. It was different. I appreciate that. One thing though, you never get any character. You never really get to know any character. You never really go too in depth into a character, and at the same time, you never really go in depth into the postpartum depression. I think she's going through it, but I find it very ridiculous feel for her until the emotional scene she had, and after that, it was just gone. Maybe some had she interest also to reflect our own disinterest in her. I don't even know what's going on, but all in all, great movie. You should see it. I don't know. I won't say it's that educative, but it's a little bit. You can open your eyes. It's a good sensitization on how far postpartum depression can go. Anyway, it's a good movie and something quite different. So if you really want to check it out, advice. It's available on Netflix. Anyway, that's the end of this video, guys. If you liked it, share with your friends, like and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. And oh, I've gotten to 59 subscribers. I'm very actually happy because I've actually not promoted this channel. So I'm really happy that you guys are subscribing, to all my subscribers, people that leave comments on my videos, people that like it. I'm so very, very grateful. Hopefully in 2022 we'll be more consistent with this channel and grow it to something really amazing. Bye guys.